Really appreciate you taking a few minutes to look at ways that we can decommoditize the term sale. And I think it's a great way to start when we talk about what is a commodity. And a commodity, in its definition, is something that is bought or sold, something that is useful or is valued. And the basic idea is that there is little differentiation coming from one person or entity and the same commodity from another person or entity. And I want to give an example. Let's look at a barrel of oil. And a barrel of oil is basically the same product regardless of who produces it. And if we compare this to, say, electronics, where the quality and the features of a given product will be completely different depending on who produces the product. With that being said, research shows that commoditization is as much psychological state as a physical one. A commoditized market is one in which buyers display routine behaviors, minimal expectations, and a strong preference for swift and effortless transactions regardless of product differentiation. The C word, as in commoditize, is a business's greatest fear and failure. Customers consider some of our products or services to be a commodity when there is no measurable difference between our features and benefits and those of competitors. Although convinced they are providing the most value, we realize that the lowest price could win. And we like to say, well, let the bidding wars begin at this point in term insurance. Let the lowest price win. So why didn't the most value win? Well, in the minds of the consumers, it did. They think the lowest price equals the highest value. And when a business does not give its customers the means to measure value other than price, then a business typically turns their products and services into commodities. The consumers are not responsible, but that is good news. What one takes away, one can always get back, and armed with the proper tools and knowledge, we can decommoditize these sales. We see TV ads, we hear radio ads stating, contact us, we'll get you the cheapest rate. They'll give a rate for $500,000, the client that purchased it. But really what it comes down to is the clients know that they're going to live, they know they're going to die, and money's going to be passed along to their beneficiaries. And these consumers feel that they can accurately compare products without our input. They think that they no longer depend on explanations of the technical differences between competitive offerings. And yes.
When people see those ads on the TV, that you can buy life insurance for $10 a month, what kind of client do you think that they're really looking at?
Well, they're looking at a client with little to no health issues, perfect health. They're looking for clients that clients that want a quick transaction. They don't need to see a broker. It's all over the phone sales. They're looking for a client that really doesn't know the difference between one term from the other and one product from another, whether it be term insurance or permanent insurance.
Probably between 1% and less than 1% of the population that we deal with.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And, not just our industry, or not just our business specific, but we see a lot of people out there trying to create a truly different alternative. They're not trying to decommoditize. They're trying to create a better alternative. And, they focus on service, products, and commitment to the community, and that typically doesn't turn you into something which there is no alternative. And, trying to decommoditize something, our goal is to be different, not better. And basically what that means is, people are unwisely attempting to be better and different. boy, my verbiage is not all there today, but basically what they're trying to do is be different, not better. They're trying, we want to try to be an orange in a sea of apples. Our goal is to be the orange standing out in a sea of apples, never an orange, never an orange. When we're focusing on better, all we're saying is we're still an apple, but we want to be a better apple, not a very compelling argument, especially considering when that's what everyone else is saying too. And so how do we de-commoditize a sale? What do we do? Well, we have to find ways to make what we sell more valuable through its features, including packaging, pricing, and added functionality. And if everybody is competing on price, then become the premium brand and make your offering less abundant and scarier. We got to seize our ground, and we got to sharpen, in my mind, our value proposition and know our customers, what they need, and what we sell. We have to be able to help justify what we charge, because it will be a little bit more expensive to be different, but we have to make it more compelling. And we can narrow and sharpen, we can define what we sell and what it does for the consumer. And with that being said, we talked about technology advances have also led to new types of commodities. For example, cell phone minutes and bandwidth. I remember back in the day when the old brick phones came out, we were limited to 100 minutes, or else we'd be getting charged $5 a minute or an extra $1 a minute. I wasn't exactly sure how much, but it was a lot more than what we're paying now. And with that being said, not only has technology done great things for us as consumers, but it has also changed the way that we live, how long we live, and with the breakthroughs in the medical field. We're living longer. We're not dying from cancers or heart attacks like we were back in the day, and it's really rare to see claims on term life insurance. A stat that I'd seen out there is less than 2% of all terms will actually pay a claim. So what we've been talking a little bit about commodity and de-commoditizing a sale. Well, how does that fit with a surety? How does a surety's product, term product, take itself out of that commodity world? Well, there's really 4 C's. C's as in Charlie that I like to discuss. 1, our product is convenient. We have non-medically underwritten term life insurance up to $350,000. No exams, which makes your process as an agent easier. You don't have to, as most clients out there, they work in middle America, they work, say, 7 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. They get off of work. They go take their kids to soccer practice or football practice, come back, go eat at the house. By the time they get a chance to do something that they want to do, it could be 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. That's the last time. At that point in time, not too many people out there are going to want to take an exam. So convenience is one of the C's. Number 2, it's convertible. You can convert all or a portion of our term plan to a permanent policy. And that's definitely something that I would always state to bring up at the time you are showing a client or delivering a client their policy, letting them know that they are paying for a convertibility option. It's built into the policy, but they are paying for it. And the 3rd C is customizable. And this is really what sets us out from the marketplace. The living benefit riders. And I know living benefit riders is a big term used out there, but our term works in a much different way. Our living benefit riders, critical illness and disability, are separate pools of funds than the death benefit. It goes back to the de-commoditizing the sale of creating a package. You can create a package with disability insurance that you can offer up to 60% of what they make, or you can simply cover their mortgage. If they're sick or injured and cannot work, how would they be able to pay for their mortgage? So disability is 1. 2, it's critical illness. There's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of awareness out there about cancers, about heart attacks, about strokes. And critical illness is another way that you can be different than other agents out there by giving a policy that your client can use in multiple ways. It's not just a term. Clients can, if they look online and they see a cheaper price, well, that's one thing. If you just show them a term, or they look online and they see a term for a cheaper price, but it doesn't have these living benefit riders that are separate pools of funds that helps create a package, they're more likely your persistency on that business is more than likely to be better than just a typical term sale. And, since we're talking about customizable, we're talking about living benefits, one question I always like to ask a client, to kind of help educate them is asking them, Mr. or Miss Client, do you know what your human economic life value is? And sit back and listen. Some people will say, well, isn't that how much money I make? Some people will say, no, I have no idea what that means. Well, human economic life value is precisely what they're making today and how much they can make over their lifetime. A follow-up question to what is your human economic life value is, well, what can impact your human economic life value? A lot of people are going to say death, and a lot of people are probably going to say sickness. And those two riders, critical illness and disability, protect those two things. If they get sick, and if they get sick or injured, and they cannot earn a paycheck. So those are two great riders that you could add on, and there's a sales idea of ways that you could bring up critical illness by asking them, what can impact your human economic life value and what's important to them. We want to make sure that we're covering them for what's important. That's a much easier sell than trying to sell them something of value without knowing if that's something that is on their mind and something that they're concerned with. But, I mentioned 4 C's, and the fourth C is really the WIIFM. That is not a radio station. That is what's in it for me as a broker, and that is additional commissions. There's a lot of term prices out there that are $10 a month, $20 a month, $30 a month, and you have to sell a lot of those $10 a month, $20 a month to be able to live a lifestyle that you're accustomed to living. And there's all different ways of how you can increase your commissions, whether that be showing a client a permanent product, or you could add these living benefit riders on the policy. And I was just running a quote today, and I was running a quote on a 35-year-old individual wanting, I believe it was $250,000 worth of coverage, and that was about $40 a month. And if I added on $1,000 worth of disability insurance to cover the mortgage and $20,000 worth of critical illness insurance to cover the cost of that mortgage for a year and a half, 2 years, well, that raised the price to $63. And you might be saying, wow, $63 is a lot of money. But if you look at it, that's about a 50% increase. But that increase is less than 73 cents per day on a package that will do more things for your client. It'll protect the client from many things that could come up over their lifetime. And I know everybody on this phone probably knows somebody who has had a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, who has gone through some financial or stressful times, and whether that be something that is one and done, or that has lasted 6 months, or something that has lasted over a year or 2 years, adding on disability and critical illness riders to the policy not only de-commoditize the sale, gives you more commissions, but most importantly protects your clients for for life events that could come up. And I know that we're going to potentially open this, or we're going to open this up for questions. But to sum this up, instead of thinking about what is the cheapest sale and what our clients always concerned with cheapest sales, the answer is no. The clients don't. We have to educate the clients throughout the sale, and let's take that term and not just make it a term. Let's add these living benefit riders that will not impact the death benefit. if they happen to have as an example, they happen to have a critical illness, and that $20,000 rider was on the policy, not only one, if they happen to have cancer, invasive cancer, we would give them a check for $20,000. 6 months down the road, if they would happen to have a heart attack or a stroke, we would give them another check for $20,000. 6 months later, they have end-stage kidney failure, they would get another check for $20,000 from a surety that they can use on whatever they want to. And there's no better way to get referrals from somebody who is living. You know, when somebody gets a check from their insurance carrier on a life policy that they received and they are still alive, what are they going to do? They are going to talk to their friends, they're going to talk to their family, and they're going to let everybody know that they purchased a policy that that was able to help them through their difficult time. And I think that's very, very important. And I've seen individuals here at a surety purchase this term life insurance and have had numerous checks for critical illness pay out. And with that being said, that has changed their business. That has given them more referrals. So that is something great to keep in mind. And the 3 C's on the product: it's convenient, it's customizable, it's convertible, and then what's in it for you? That's one way that we can help you raise your commissions on these term policies that are less expensive than permanent. And going back to that, you know, the equation that I was talking to you about, $40 a month or $60 a month. Even though it's $60 a month, that's less than, I mean, that's only a few dollars a day to get them a plan that covers them for all 3 things. If they die, if they get sick, or if they get sick and injured, that will cover them. And so with that being said, Kelly, I know we talked a little bit about the commodities and how to de-commoditize a sale, but the way I look at it as, you know, being able to offer a product that is different than what everybody else is offering out there is definitely one way that we can help agents not only increase their commissions but also protect their clients for a lot of the life events that could happen throughout their lifetime.
Absolutely, and you know, a great way to think about that is adding that critical illness rider. You benefit yourself as the client because you can also become the beneficiary to your own life insurance policy with that critical illness piece, in addition to providing coverage or security to your family with the death benefit. So, I mean, it's just a new way to look at life insurance and for clients to be their own beneficiary.
That is
rather
correct.
than just passing it on. Very good information. Does anybody out there have any questions? Well, I am not hearing any nor seeing any. So if you do have any questions that you think of after we're finished here, you can always get in touch with a life marketer here at Premier at 800-365-8208. Just ask to speak to one of the life marketers, and we will get those questions answered for you and can run proposals for you as well. And thanks, everybody, for your time today. Thanks, Bobby, for some great information. And we'll be touching base with everybody that was on the call this morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a great day.
Thanks. Have a great day, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.